We just put out a podcast with, what? Buck? Decent buck? Good one? Yeah. Ooh. All right, guys. It is the second weekend in July. Jase and I are back down here in Hill Country, going to pull some cards. We actually walked a different piece this morning, just kind of scout it out, check it out. We did find a bear track, actually. Should be interesting. We'll, if we get any pictures or videos of bears, we'll be sure to post it. We are back here at the scrape on the saddle. We're gonna go pull this card here, run over to the Beaver pond set, pull that, and then we might shift around the render over on the beans. Not really too sure yet. I mean, we did get a decent picture of a buck over there, which I'm sure you guys will see on screen right now. Hopefully we got something good on this one. All right, we have arrived. Jase can put the stick on and climb up and see what all we got. How many videos we got?
35. Oh, a doe and a little baby fawn. Nothing with antlers yet. Only about 12 pictures through.
Well, once we get back to the office, we'll play through the full card for you guys to see. It's July, it's a scrape in the middle of Hill Country. We didn't expect much, but you know, 35 is a good start. We'll probably check this camera, I don't know, at the end of August and probably at the end of September before the season opener. But after that, we won't check it until we come back in here to hunt it. Gonna swap cards out here, head back to the car and go check on the Beaver pond set. I'm excited for that one. All right, guys, it is finally time. This is the set I have been looking forward to. We are back in the Beaver ponds. I am really excited to see what shows up on this camera. I got high hopes for it, so we will work our way up here, hopefully without falling in, see how many videos we got. What happened, Jase?
Sunk about a foot into the mud. Literally a foot.
All right, that kind of sucked getting here. That swamp had a little more water in it than last time, and ground wasn't as solid, so I think we're gonna have to try and find a different way to access this. But all the paths in here look even more beat than the last time we were in here. So Jake's gonna pull that camera. We'll see what we get here. How many videos do you think?
I'm thinking about 100. I think this is getting a lot of activity coming through here. There's a lot of tracks on these trails we just came in through, so hopefully we have a decent buck on camera.
All right, how many videos we got?
350. And the first ones past the videos of us walking up to the camera are already deer in it. I can't really tell because it's dark, but there's already deer on it, so that's a good sign. Probably gonna have to get this one back to the house, go through those 300.
Doesn't look like too many false triggers at all, actually. Jase is just skimming through the first, 50 to 100, and pretty much every single one has a deer walking past it, so fingers crossed for this section. I mean, we just put out a podcast talking about the importance of water holes, especially in the summertime now. Deer need to drink too. That would explain why we have 300 plus videos on this camera. We will show you guys here once we get back to the office. All right, guys, we are at the third and final camera here on the bean field. We moved that render around. Last time we were down here, we put it way in the back where we were seeing some bachelor groups come out. Haven't really had too much on it, but we got our first decent buck of the year on it. I think he's a mainframe 8. He's got a big split brow tine. I mean, it looks like he's a younger deer, but I'm not gonna lie. If he walks in front of me, he's getting an arrow. We're just about to the other lift that we put down here on this access coming out into this bean field. We're gonna go swap out cards and let you guys know what we got on that one.
Probably the same group we saw last time we were here.
Yeah, we need to come turkey hunting down here.
Yeah, maybe. Except we don't have very good luck when we turkey hunt.
We just pulled the card off this lift tube behind us here. We did manage to get a couple deer on camera. I think there was 40 videos on it, and the first thumbnail that I came to with a deer on it was half of the bachelor group coming back out of the field and down here. High hopes for this one too. I think we're gonna shift this a little bit though. I mean, it's pretty evident they're using this to get in and out of this field. We just gotta kind of fine tune it. So I think we might go a little bit more downhill. There's some better trees down there that shouldn't give us as many false triggers, and we won't have to worry about sun flares. So gonna shift that, and once we get back to the office, we will show you guys what's on this card. All right, guys, we're back in the office. Got a stack of SD cards here from both our Ohio card pools. We got one down in Hill Country. We got one kind of close to the office on some public. Let's pop them in, see what we got. So we're gonna start off with that doe bedding set here. There's a couple trails that kind of intersected right there. So probably gonna be a lot of deer using that. Whether they're bucks or not, I'm not sure. So let's take a look. All right, we have, oh, wow, 926 videos. So I'm assuming probably a lot of false triggers with the green up, some sun flares. It's kind of hard to get that camera pointed north, right where it was at, but we tried our best. So let's go through these, see what we got here. All right, got a doe coming through using this. Got another doe coming in here. Another doe. Another doe. Seems like they're kind of just browsing in that area. Man, not looking too hopeful so far. Just as I expected, here's a bunch of false triggers. So we'll speed this part up, get through this, and hopefully find something with a rack. Looks like we're gonna have to adjust this camera. A lot of the branches up high, since we have this camera up so high, being that it's on public. Even just a slight breeze tickling the branches is gonna set this camera off. 300 videos in, probably about 250 of them are false triggers. So being that it's public land, you're not supposed to be clearing out stuff. So I don't like going in there and just mowing down a path so that your camera doesn't get false triggers. So we're just gonna have to adjust that one if we leave it there. We'll see what we get on this camera as we go through though. To be fair, I kind of knew that this time of year, you know, it was going to be hit or miss with this spot anyways. Now, come November, however, this might be a good spot to get some intel. Fairly close to a parking lot. It's a little bit of an overlooked spot. You got trails running along doe bedding, so it might be a good area to catch a buck cruising, looking to pick up a scent of a hot doe. Oh, here we go. Hey, there's the little guy. Knew there was one in there. Another doe. Hey, twins. How about that? So we got Mama and the two fawns moving through, and then right behind him, looks like you got little, I don't know, about 2-inch spikes there. Another doe. Oh, here comes cavalry. There's one. There's two. Doe again. There's one. So there must be two moms in there. This one's only got one fawn with her. All right, and that's it for that card. So, kind of expected more. You know, more than at least just a little spike with 2-inch nubs. I think I might move this one around. I'm not sure though. You know, come late October, early November, once they start cruising, this will be a good spot to get some intel on what's actually used in the area. All right, up next, we have what I call the buck bedding camera. See what we get on this one. Again, this spot too, you know, summertime, especially after looking at the doe bedding, hopes aren't really high for this one. As the season progresses though, this might be a good long-term set here, just because it's some nice dense thick cover in there for the bucks to get tucked in. Right now, they're probably not going to be using that high stem count area just because they don't want to damage their velvet. All right, 864. I suppose probably a lot of false triggers on this one too. There we are leaving. Huh. All right, so for this set here, we left what, 825. 854. There's already a doe coming through. This was the set here where we hung that vine, and as you can see, you know, not even half hour later, doe's already in there checking out that vine. Big old fat raccoon there. And there's one of the does with the fawns. Doe with the fawn again. They're liking that vine scrape. I mean, that vine there. Even the fawn's taking a sniff. Oh. What do we got here? Can't tell. There she is again, checking out that vine. Another doe. Lots of sun flares with this one. Just little splotches of sun coming through, hitting the trees, and that's what's setting the camera off there. Not a lack of deer in this area, just no big deer yet. Come on, big buck, where you at? Deer moving through there. Her ear or head must have just caught the bottom corner of the detection angle. Kind of looks like it's starting to rain, too. She's feeding way in the background there. Ooh. A little bit of thunder rumbling through. Huh, she's still there. Here comes the rain, and there she still is back there. So, we got 8:44 a.m. here. So she stood in the same place for almost 40 minutes waiting for that storm to go through. Didn't move. I could still see her body way in the back there as that storm blew through. It must have been just a dry spot or something she was standing under there. That's pretty neat. I've never seen that before. There she is finally moving off there. Whoop. Don't like to see that. And that's it. So this one we actually are going to be moving. I misspoke earlier. So Jase was able to put up one of his renders on the primary scrape that we found. It's only about 100-150 yards downhill from this spot. So I think we're going to move this camera just because with that render right there, I mean, there's no sense of two cameras being 150 yards apart from each other. You know, any bucks that move through this bedding throughout the fall, that's probably going to be their first stop. Because, I mean, that scrape was still, when we found it in April, every bit of 4 feet wide. So I would venture to guess that's where they're going to go if they get up and move from this bed. So this next one was the other scrape that we found. Kind of a little house-sized patch of thicket in the middle of just open timber. We put a camera up there when we first walked through it in April, and I know for sure this one had some ant issues. We didn't think to tape it when we put it up way back then, so not too hopeful for this one. So we got 340 videos all from the day that we swapped SD cards. So, all right, there we are leaving at 9:07, 3:54 the next day. Bunch of branches and stuff moving in the wind. Oh yeah, see some funkiness going on here with the video. Yep, ants must have got to it probably the very next day, actually. Yeah, 'cause this is the day after we came through and swapped everything out. All right, I kind of got a sneaky hunch that's all we're going to see on there is a bunch of false triggers. Hey, we actually did get a deer on camera. How about that? And wouldn't you know it, it's that little spike. So the answer on that one. That one we took down. Jase is working on it right now, actually. And try and get that one back out. I don't know if we'll put it in that same spot or not, though. Kind of want to spread our cameras out a little more just to cover some more ground. These are all clustered relatively close just to try and figure out this certain area, but I think it's still a little early in the year to really get a good grasp and idea of what's going on in there. All right, last one. This is the power line set. So this is the one that we hung right at last light. I'm hopeful for this one. There's a lot of deer tracks through there, so not really a super high stem count area. I mean, there's a wall of brush behind there, but it's relatively open coming up out of the woods out into the power line, and I can see a couple deer on video here already. So there we are. We left at 9:34. There's a deer the very next morning. What do we got? Another doe. What are they doing going back into there? Huh, didn't even know there was a path that went back there. Another doe. No, it's a little buck. Just teeny tiny little nubs. He'll probably be a spike or something this year because this is from, yeah, June 4th. There's the even bigger spike. And we got some booners here. Yeah, that's a fat doe. No, that's that spike. False trigger, another doe. They keep going back in there. Huh. We must not have caught that since it was dark. Doe. Doe. Come on, show me something with antlers. Beggars can't be choosers. He has antlers. They're about 2 inches tall. I think there was a couple hundred on this one too, so there's probably some of the leaves blown in the wind. Yep. Yeah, it looks like they're not taking one specific path out into that power line there. Another doe coming up through. They must be accessing that through there. Must have been a trail I missed or something. Oh, hello. All right, we got something that's finally not a spike. We got 4 points formed already. Well, it looks like he's got G2 starting to pop out there a little bit. Another deer feeding by. That's the spike. Well, he's 3 inches now. Man, he's really going to blossom into his own. Good to see the fawn still alive. 625. There's that spike again. 2 spikes. Man, things are looking up for this spot. Huh, that's pretty cool. Big old pileated woodpecker. All right, that's that buck from earlier. So here we are, July 1st. He's got, looks like 6 points formed already. See if we can get a better view of him. Come on, step forward. There we go. Yeah, it looks like he's got 6 already. Not gonna be a very big one, but maybe in a couple years. Yeah, he's got some G2s poking out there. It might be a little 6 or an 8 this year. Man, where's your dad? Where's the big boys? Obviously not in this spot so far. He's got long, skinny legs, though. Yeah, he's pretty young. There he is again. Oh, man, he's getting wider. Just a couple 2.5-year-olds hanging out. Huh. That's pretty cool. Fawn coming out to play with the little buck. Where's Mama at? What's he do here? Just kind of feeding along. Oh, looks like he's getting ready to lay down. Oh. Mama didn't like him being close to the little one. Came up ready to kick some ass. Oh boy. Uh-oh, Mama. Where's your little one? That's not good. Hopefully he didn't get the fawn. Ooh, he's getting a little bigger. Nice, keep growing, my man. Spike again. And there we are. All right. Well, that wraps up the card pool for around my house. Overall, kind of disappointed. Figured we'd see more velvet bucks. Only got one that's bigger than a spike. Let's move on to the Hill Country set. This is the one I'm excited for. Let's start with that scrape on the saddle. This one I kind of got mixed expectations for. All right, how many videos? 35. There's us. And there's a deer. That looks like a doe. And another fawn. We did angle this camera down more when we got there. We noticed that it kind of shifted a little bit, so when we closed the latch, it must have shifted the stick we had behind it just enough. Another doe here. Another little fawn. Another doe. Another fawn. Another doe and a fawn. Oh, 2 fawns. Another set of twins. Another doe, actually. Looks like she's working some of the licking branches. Yeah, there we are. All right. Not much on that one, but that's also a scrape on a saddle on a big ridge system. So not really too much summer food out there besides, just some of the browse. Once the acorns start dropping, though, the whole entire flat on the one side of the saddle is all acorn producing oaks. So I have high hopes and high expectations for this spot. Probably come mid-September, late September, once the acorns start dropping. So we're going to skip the beaver pond, save that one for last. Kind of peeked at that one, and you guys are going to want to see that one. So this is the Beanfield set. So we had a render there, had a couple bucks, smaller bucks on camera from when we first went down to hang it. And then we moved it way back into the back, and we actually got a decent buck on camera there coming through right smack dab in the hottest part of the day. This is the lift that we put kind of up from there. So this is the one that's actually on the access out into that bean field where we saw those bucks come out of in the previous video. So we'll see what we got on this one. I hope something that's, you know, bigger than a spike or a little 6-point. Hey, there's a buck. There's 2 bucks, actually. Must be that wider one and that little narrower one that we got on the render in the first video there. Man, you got all those beans right in front of you and you want to eat the weeds? Must be some good tasting stuff there. Something crawling around. Sounds like he's crawling on top of the camera. Oh. No way. It's kind of hard to tell, but that kind of looks like a flying squirrel. Huh. That's pretty neat. Another big fat fox squirrel there. There he is again. There's a deer. One of the spikes we had on camera earlier. Looks like there's something in the field over there. I can't tell what, though. It's hard to see, but you can see tines through the little opening there. Wonder if that's that high and tight one we had on the render. Oh. Wow. Oh, that is sweet. That is such a big bird. Wow. Must be looking for that fox squirrel came by earlier. Didn't know that red-tailed hawk sounded like that. Man, look at the talons on that thing. Holy shit. That is such a big bird. Wow. True apex predator there. Oh, hello. Alright, there's our little 6-point, and that'd be our high and tight buck there. Let's see if we can get a good angle when he turns there. Yep, look at that. He's got a big old split on that right brow tine, it looks like. Looks like he's got a G4 starting to poke up on his left side, too. Got all sorts of... Yep. Looks like there's a little one starting to poke up there. Yeah, not gonna lie, if that buck walks in front of me, he's probably catching an arrow. And that's it. So we ended up moving this camera, actually. We moved it a little further downhill. We stuck it on a pine tree looking a little further down that path, because once we got in there in the daylight, we saw that there was the main path there coming up, and it looked like there was 1 or 2 that split off to either side. So we should get a nice, you know, kind of side, almost quartering to, depending on if they're coming in or out. So that one's probably going to stay there just for preseason. Closer we get to season, though, you know, that one's not far from a parking lot, so I'm going to move that one before it grows legs and ends up in someone else's collection. Last card here, and this is the set that I have really been looking forward to. So this is the Beaver Pond set down in Hill Country. When Jase and I walked in to go check this camera, there was even more tracks in the mud down there. And as he was just kind of thumbing through, looking at all the thumbnails on the videos, he could see, you know, quite a few deer using it. We actually ended up having, looks like he went through this one already. So we actually ended up having a couple hundred videos on this one. All right, so here we are, June 11th, 7:36. So 24 minutes later, we already got a spike coming through. It's a promising start. Oh, there's a buck. Same evening. On a little closer, buddy. Let's get a better look at you. Yeah, it looks like a spike. Kind of hard to make out, though. This set's going to be tough for nighttime videos. There's not really much close to help bounce light back into the camera on that path. I mean, if they're centered up here on this grass, it'd be better. 1:43 in the morning. Oh, hello. Wow. All right, June 12th, and he is already looking pretty nice there. Got muddy legs coming through the swamp. All right, next morning, already got a doe. Another doe. 2 more does. Oh, that's that spike. Man, a lot of deer activity down in here. There's a mama and a fawn. Ooh, he looks wee little. Ooh. Is that the same one? It's another wide buck there. Literally 24 hours after we hung this camera, we already got 2, potentially 3 different bucks on camera here. Oh, hello. All right, 36 hours after we hung that camera. Wow. Yeah, he's a pretty nice one. He's already an 8-point. June 13th. Maybe even a 9. It kind of looks like he's got another point coming off that left side. Whew, he's going to be decent. All right, 36 hours after we hung the camera. That makes buck number 4 that we have on camera. Yeah, I like those curly brow tines too. Oh, there we go. There's a better view of him. Hard to tell. He's got G2s and G3s already. Another one. That's that same guy. He's got the curly G2s there. 5:57 a.m. He's going to be nice. Another doe. A couple more does. Man, that mud must be getting deep. I know it was getting deep because we came across the swamp and went to go up through the little pinch point, and Jase sunk up almost up to his knees in mud. So there's the doe and the fawn. Man, we're only 3 days past when we put up this camera in. That is a lot of activity. 5th buck. Yeah, just a little guy. I don't think he'll be a spike much longer. He was coming up pretty wide. No brow tines, though. All right, so 5 days in, we got 5 different bucks on camera there now. There's a different spike there. Number 6. There's that one that came by earlier. Only got 4 points formed so far. Ooh. Man. He's funky looking. So he's got 3 on one side, 3 on the other, but what is that other brow tine doing? Looks like he has starting to split on that brow. There's a wide spike. Oh, another coyote. Wow. Man, is he wide. He's brand new, too. Whew. Be interesting to see what he turns into. Oh, hello. He's an 8 already. June 20th. That's going to be a nice one there. There he is again. That's a different one too. He doesn't have those curly brow tines like that previous one. There's a good shot. Yeah, his brow tines kind of come straight out. There's some velvet. It's another different one, it looks like. Maybe. No, that was probably that same one that walked through in the gray light. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. June 22nd, and look at those brow tines already. Whew. Man, is he a pretty deer. He's going to be high and tight. Decent looking one. Kind of a young deer. There's a good shot. Yeah, I think he's going to be not as big, but still a decent buck. There's that wide one with the shorter brow tines. There's ET. Finally has some brow tines growing. There he is again. That's that smaller 8. Oh, hello. That's that high and tight one. Well, he's getting bigger. I just don't think he's going to have any mass or any tine length. Ooh, man. Hello. What are you down here? So that's an 8. That's an 8. Oh my. What is that coming down the hill? Wow. That's a nice buck there. Oh, come on. Really? He covered that much ground in that 10 seconds. Ooh, there's some time. Ooh. That's some funkiness going on there. You got 2 on one side and 4 on the other. Huh. A lot of kickers on the deer down here. That's the second deer we have with a split down there. There's another 8. He's a nice 8. Any more? Yep. Man, he's got big brow tines. Not very tall yet, but... Oh my. Wowza. Man. His G3 is already almost as big as his G2. That's a curly brow-tined one, I think. I don't know. I've honestly lost track of all the bucks from down here. Man, is he going to be nice. There's that smaller 8 behind him. It's that smaller 8. Another buck. What is that one? He's going to be decent. Looks like that right G2. You got something going on up there. There's our curly brow tined. Yep, curling in. Look how deep the mud is. All right, where's the big dog? There's the big dog. Whew. He's gonna be nice. He'd get an arrow for sure. That's it. Took us 9 cameras, but we finally found some decent bucks. So stay tuned for the next card pool. We're probably gonna shift some cameras around from that set that we have kind of closer to the office. These ones down in Hill Country are gonna stay put for now. I mean, why would you shift them after having a card pool like that? So I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm sure those bucks are gonna get even bigger.